Hey folks, this is BoboTheVulture, and it's time for more Let's Play Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. Um, it's a little late, but I kind of wanted to see if I could get another video in, because the next video would be a date with Brian, and Brian's voice hurts my throat, so it'd be good to do at the end of a session, rather than at the beginning of one. Although typically, just from the amount of time that these take and the amount of time I find that I have free at any given point to record videos for the internet of games, I've only ever been doing one date at a time, but just in case, we're going to tack Brian on here and see what happens. Spends most of his days hanging out with his awesome daughter and thinking up new ways to grill things. I mean, he has an awesome daughter, and grilling is cool. Just don't like all of the competition. Buy quality, not quantity. I mean, you know, depends on the thing, I guess. You can buy things in quantity that are good enough, or as good as whatever you need. Oh, I have a message from Brian. Hey, Daisy and I are going fishing tomorrow. Are you in or out? Oh no, I've been dreading this day. I accidentally boasted about my abilities as a fisherman to Brian, and now he's challenging me to do another dad off. I've been doing my fishing research online, but I'm nowhere close to being an expert. Still, though, I have to accept. Type back to Brian. Sounds great, man. Super excited to catch all those fish. Make sure your mower is in good working order, because you are gonna be all over my lawn this weekend. That'll show him. Brian responds back, letting me know that tomorrow will pick us up in an hour I'd previously forgotten existed. Man, that's gonna be a rough start. Amanda comes into the room from the kitchen, eating a cheese stick by biting it off, piece by piece, like some kind of monster. The hell are you doing, Amanda? You're just biting the whole cheese stick? You peel that. I didn't raise you like that. What? It's called string cheese, and not choppy cheese for a reason, Amanda. Did you just call me in here to criticize my controversial string cheese eating technique, or what? No, Amanda, we have to go fishing tomorrow. Well, you have to go fishing. I get to play with Brian's dog. How do I become a master of fishing overnight? You went fishing in the Girl Scouts, didn't you? Nope. My stint in the Scouts was brief and purely transactional. Thought I'd get free cookies, but didn't know that I had to be, like, outside, tie knots and stuff. But I have to be Brian. Dad, let me tell you a story. All about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. Do you remember last summer how I applied for a job at a coffee shop across town? Give me a refresher. During the interview, they asked me if I knew how to work an espresso machine, and I really wanted the job, so I lied and said yes. On that first morning, there was a line at the door, and within half an hour, I severely burned my hand, and they told me to go home and never come back. I still have a scar from that. Of course I remember. What does that have to do with fishing? The burn is a metaphor, Dad. I don't get it. You can lead a horse to water. What do horses have to do with fish and burns? Dad, please. I don't get your obsession with competing against Brian. Me either. You wouldn't understand. It's a dad thing. Jeez, am I going to become this guy? Please try explaining it to me. Okay, Brian's he just thinks that he's so much better than me, and he purposely reminds me of that whenever he can. It's like he has to one-up me, and I have to beat him in his own game. Is that what you think is happening, her? No, Amanda. Okay, I know that's what's happening. Alright, Pops. We both should be getting some sleep. See you in the morning. Night, Panda. Brush my teeth and throw on some pajamas. I climb into bed, set my alarm, close my eyes. Okay, sleep. I am wide awake. Yeah, that'll help me do Brian's voice later. Can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Brian. I was about 9 years old. My dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. It was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on before I knew it. We were both alone in a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy, the air thick with bugs. I picked up mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand and beer in the other. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father bought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. It didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. Sitting on a boat in the middle of a body of water. I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is placid and still. I'm holding a fishing pole. You guys see all that land, right? It's what the trees are coming out of? Anyway, I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait. 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 My whole body is being filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. You used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning, disapproving. Panicking now. I pulled the lure up and tried to grab a different one, but all the lures in the tackle box looked the exact same. I look to my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. The boat tips over and I fall into the water, sinking further and further. I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Brian's eyes.
You gotta use a neutral buoyancy lure if you're gonna try and catch trout, buddy.
I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. It's fishing day. That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip on clothes and get ready. Spot Amanda's door half open, and see her still curled up in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Fishing day, kiddo. You ready? Nah. Well, you gotta get up. Can't do this without you. Also, stop sleeping in your clothes. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Never. Amanda. I'll get up in a minute. Alright, Brian should be here in 20, so you better just not go back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blanket to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do word jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Brian. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Brian. He's decked out in fishing gear. It looks like his normal clothes, but it's fishing gear. Daisy's falling asleep next to him.
Early bird gets the worm, buddy.
You ready to fish? I look like his tiny familiar just popped out next to him.
I was born ready.
My eyes narrow in on Brian. It's a good day to die. Hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. Walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Whew, whew. Brian's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging his tail furiously. Can I see your license, sir?
Maxwell, let Bobo sit.
Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy and immediately falls asleep.
You ready for an adventure?
Let's go to the adventure. I'm ready for glory. I struggle to stay awake as we drive to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass by. So where exactly are we headed? Oh, he pops into my picks and picks.
It's about an hour north of here. A little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. But Dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anybody else knows about it. I brought everything we need, so that when we catch some trout, have a nice little fire, and enjoy the nature.
My fishing pole is in the shop. Getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra I could borrow?
But of course, it's probably not as nice as it sounds yours is, though.
Right. I'm digging a hole here. I stare out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusky pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spotted deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. Thankfully, it leaped that way and not the other way. Also, look at the forest lining the highway, guys. It's totally not shops. Totally not shops. After a nice quiet drive, Brian eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up to a magnificent lake.
Well, here we are.
Step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us barking. The kids wake up and wander to the shore, where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Brian and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake, where he has a canoe waiting.
Oh, great, it's still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell.
Oh, Brian plays a tiny dog-sized life vest onto Maxwell. Woof, woof.
All right, your turn.
Brian hands me a lime green life vest. Maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. I can swim, thanks. No thanks. Okay. This is not a joking matter, guys. Everybody gets a life vest when they go on the boat. Everybody. You hear me? Just like when everybody gets in the car, they put on a seatbelt. Everybody. You hear me? Yeah, that's right, Brian. You should be just sitting there staring and blinking. Brian, I'm with you on this one. I mean, I can swim. I would still take a life vest. I know how to swim, Brian.
Suit yourself.
Brian turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks.
You kids want to fish?
I'm good with just throwing rocks into the water. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Yeah, take that, water. Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them. Is that what we're doing?
Daisy, don't you want to fish?
I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. We're gonna go explore in the woods and look at bugs and stuff.
All right, be safe. Don't go too far.
Brian puts the life vest around himself and we throw all of our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place looking out over the front of the boat. We get into the canoe as Brian shoves off. We paddle together to get ourselves out in the middle of the lake. I still don't get why we had 3 different options to refuse a vest and not one to accept one.
Most freshwater fish usually feed at dusk and dawn, which is why I had to get you up so early.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty common fisherman knowledge after all. Fisherman knowledge that I am knowledgeable about.
Still a gambling man?
You know it.
Let's see who can catch more fish.
You can catch more than one? Sounds easy enough to me. What's on the line? Besides all the fish I'm going to catch, obviously.
I was thinking something a little more high stakes than mowing the lawn.
Custody of our children?
More than that. Let's say, if I win, I get your weed whacker.
The Whackmaster 2000? That's a limited edition. Actually, I have a battery-operated one. If I gave him the actual just weed whacker and didn't give him any of the batteries, that'd show him. But, yeah. I got, this was my first big homeowner slash future dad kind of thing. I got a battery-operated lawnmower with a weed whacker that uses the same type of batteries. So, you know, if you run out of batteries with the lawnmower, which our yard's small enough, I don't really, you could switch over and use the weed whacker battery. Weed whacker battery is not quite as big, doesn't hold quite as much of a charge, but get you another, minute or two, couple minutes.
But if you win, you get my pole saw. The reach and cut 3000.
The cordless version?
That's the one.
Shit. The Reach and Cut 3000 is state of the art. My weed whacker's a prized possession, but there are those hard to reach branches at the back of the yard that are begging for pruning. You're on. We shake on it. I suddenly remember that I don't know how to fish. My foolish fatherly pride will one day be my undoing. Well, today seems like the day for that. Hey, sweet girl. Hazel just woke up, looking a little groggy-faced. Yeah, I'm still up doing weird voices. Watch as Brian ties a lure and does some stuff that I can't quite follow with his fishing pole he casts into the lake. Oh boy, now I have to do that. I stare down at the tackle box with the pole in my hand. Insult the fish. Stretch before any physical activity. I don't want to upset the boat. Insulting the fish is just going to scare them away if I start yelling at them. Let's put some bait in the hook. Fish a worm from the styrofoam container Brian brought. It's slippery, but I can get it onto the hook if I just focus. Oh god, I'm bleeding. Oh god, the blood's everywhere. The worm is not on the hook.
Need some help?
No, I meant to do that. The blood attracts the fish. They can smell it up to a mile away, you know.
I think that's sharks.
No, it's definitely fish. Now what? Meditate. Tie a knot or something. I mean, tie a knot? Or something? No. If we meditate, then we will destroy it. Then we will destroy you. So let's meditate and then destroy him. Close my eyes and relax my muscles. I clear my mind of all thoughts and focus on taking deep, even breaths.
What are you doing?
I'm meditating. It's an exercise of mindfulness and positive visualization. It often helps me to use a calming mantra when I'm meditating. I'm going to kick Brian's ass. I'm better than Brian. Brian will never beat me. I'm the superior dad, etc. I think I'm ready. Let's cast this sucker. I pull my rod back and launch the lure as hard as I can. The lure flies off the line and sails far, far away, landing in the lake with a loud sploosh. Sorry, I judged the wind speed wrong. This cold air drives the pressure down.
Go ahead and take my pole. I know it's hard to switch to a new pool you're not used to. I'll fix up another lure.
Ryan hands me his pole with a smile, and I just sit there, feeling like an idiot. You are an idiot. Minimize eating dried food, candies, and sweets. What the heck?
Fishing around here is easy. It's like a mini game. They group up. All you gotta do is line up 3 of the same species and reel them in.
I need to match 3 of the same species? I can't tell which fish is which.
Match that fish.
Oh, we have time. Like, do they have to be next to each other?
That's the smallmouth bass. Judge it not for the size of its mouth, but the content of its character. I hear if they try hard enough, one day they'll grow up to be a medium-mouthed bass.
That's the Atlantic salmon. Like most salmon, they swim upstream to spawn. They're among the largest of salmon species. Wait, what? No.
That's the northern pike sports fish that isn't great for eating due to its tough, scaly hide. Some fishermen hunt them with a bow and arrow, since their sharp teeth easily cut through fishing line. That's the walleye. They typically feed it to...
Oh. I'm doing this all wrong. I see now. Okay. Yeah. I totally didn't understand the game they were trying to have happen here. Now I'm fishing indeed. I'm going to be a ways behind now, though. Match of the day. Haha, that's funny. Oh man, I got one of those combos. S plus? Wow.
Good work.
Yeah, like I didn't understand. That seems to be what Dream Daddy is all about here. They're like, learn the game as you go. By the way, there's a time limit. Wow, this is way tougher than I thought. I look over to Brian, who's smiling and obviously enjoying his time out here on the lake. Hello, Hazel. You want to get up on my lap? Is that what you're trying to do? I will crush him. Suddenly, the fishing pole jumps on my hand. I reflexively tug upwards. I think I got something big. The tip of the pole dips down repeatedly and the line starts to run.
Reel it in.
I finally get the fish right up next to the boat. It's a long, beautiful rainbow trout. Brian hands me a net.
It's all yours.
I lean down and notice that my hands are shaking with excitement. This fish is bigger than all the ones Brian's caught. That pole saw is mine. The entire canoe tips over with me. I find myself sinking into the lake. Should have taken the life vest. All of a sudden, I'm embraced on the water and pulled into Brian's arms. Finally dragged upward, sputtering water. All of our gear floats on the surface. Maxwell doggy paddles around us in circles, having a great time.
You all right?
Does that count as one?
Well, seeing as all our fish are now swimming safely back in the lake, I guess so.
Brian laughs.
Let's get you to shore.
Brian and I flip the canoe back over and fill it with our now soaking wet gear. We row back to shore with Maxwell in tow, and now we have 2 Adirondacks chairs set up. Okay. Once we get to the beach, Maxwell darts off into the woods, tearing his shirt off. Brian takes off his shirt. Whoa! Dots of lake water glisten in the sun across his strong back. Man, all that general contracting muscle must have built this guy like an ox. I hope he doesn't notice me staring.
I'm gonna get a fire going so we can dry off. Want a hand be yours?
Yes, okay. I reluctantly take off my own shirt and toss it to Brian. Suddenly wish I'd done more sit-ups in my life, or any sit-ups at all, really. Another thing that you've bested me in, stupid, sexy Brian. Might as well fry that shirt up. Seems like it's the only lunch we'll have.
The day's young. We can fish from the shore.
Once Brian gets the fire going, I sit and try and dry off my pants. Brian sets a couple lures out by the water's edge.
We're probably going to have to put the kibosh on the competition for now.
Until another day. My stomach growls.
You hungry?
Oh, I'm fine. Brian reaches into his cargo shorts and pulls out a few granola bars.
I have a small child. I am flush with snacks.
Brian joins me by the fire and I accept his cargo short granola.
And now we're back to waiting.
Where do the girls get off to? Shouldn't they be back by now?
I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're a couple of smart kids.
That's what I'm worried about. They're too smart. They've probably established a small rural government by this point and have installed themselves as leaders. I take a look around at the sun cresting the tree line, casting the entire lake in a warm golden glow. The forest seems to be coming alive now. Birds chirp in the distance. Oh, nature is beautiful. Also, real Bobo is getting burnt to shit if I've just taken my shirt off without applying sunscreen. Mosquito bites me. I slap my neck and curse. Nature sucks.
Here you go, bud.
Brian hands me a bottle of bug spray. I begrudgingly take it and douse myself. Ugh, I've always hated how this stuff smells.
Really? I've always kind of liked it. Reminds me of being outside.
Maybe you and I have different sentiments on the outdoors. Maxwell comes bounding up to me, a huge stick in his mouth. He drops it at my feet and looks at me expectantly. Throw the stick towards the woods. Fake out throw. Break the stick in half to assert your dominance. Let's throw the stick towards the woods. You do a fake out throw. You do a fake out throw after some real ones. You don't just be a dick off the bat. I hurl the stick as hard as I can toward the tree line. Maxwell bolts after it, running as fast as his stubby little legs can carry him, which consequently is not very fast. It is very cute, though.
Nice throw, Bobo.
I turn away so he can't see me blush. Maxwell brings the stick back to me, clearly proud of himself. Good boy, Maxwell. You're a very good and speedy boy. You're the world champ of fetch. The champ is here. It's time for the pets. What's the plan? But pats never fail. Scratch behind his ear. Rub that belly. But Pat seems awfully forward. Rubbing the belly is something you should really only do with the approval and supervision of, anybody who knows the dog better than you, unless it's your dog. So we're going to scratch behind his ears. Give Maxwell some nice little scratches behind his floppy ears. He responds in kind by licking my face. Oh, what a good guy.
He really likes you. Be careful, he's going to try to follow you home if you keep that up.
I scratch Maxwell's ears more intensely. I'm going to steal your dog, Brian. We both laugh, but I'm only kind of kidding. While playing with Maxwell, fish began routinely pulling on Brian's lines. I watched Brian effortlessly fillet the fish, squeezing a bit of lemon on them and frying them up in a cast iron pan. Before we know it, we have a feast fit for a couple of shirtless dudes. Amanda and Daisy emerged from the woods, looking totally unscathed. Whoa, Dodbot Patrol. I'm going to have to issue you both a citation to demand you both put your shirts on. There are children present. Brian tosses me my now dry shirt. I pull it over my head, thankful that I will no longer be distracted by Brian and his pecs. Where have you guys been? Studying entomology. What? We were playing with bugs. I expected you guys to be more covered in, mud and stuff. Daisy looks offended. What do you take me for, a child? Amanda puts a hand on Daisy's shoulder. Right. We take a seat around the fire, and Brian serves us all generous piles of fish on paper plates. It's absolutely delicious. Why does he have to be good at everything?
Fish taste okay?
Daisy and Amanda both nod furiously, mouths full of fish. It's incredible. I've never had fish this good. Here's where we get our option of 3 backhanded compliments. Yeah, it's great. Oh my.
Old Hardin family recipe.
Why are your pants wet? Well, Amanda, we were out there on the lake and then
I accidentally tipped over that boat. Don't worry, all the gear floated to the surface, so we didn't lose anything. Right, Bobo?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Can't believe he just covered for me. Well, I mean, he wasn't covering for you. It's entirely possible that he managed to upset the boat attempting to help us. Gosh, he even out-humbles me. He's trying to beat me at everything, including my world-famous sense of humility. We finish our fish and end up playing catch with Maxwell for a little while before we decide to head out. After cleaning up the camp, we pack up the station wagon and let Maxwell into the back seat. Poor pup falls asleep in a cuddle puddle with Amanda and Daisy. They've had a long day.
Been an ordeal today, bud. Let me drive you guys home.
I want to prove that I'm the most awake dad on the block, but yeah, I'm beat. Fine. As we drive away, take one last look at the lake disappearing behind us and smile. I rest my head against the window and the low rumble of the dirt road beneath us lulls me into a peaceful sleep.
Hey, sleepyhead.
I open my eyes and realize that I had dozed off in the car. I self-consciously wipe a bit of drool off my chin. Oh, hey, how was the rest of my eyes? Just in case we suddenly have to jump in any sort of conflict, so I'm super awake for it. Ready to fight. With my strong arms.
It's all good. You earned some rest, buddy. Thanks for coming out with us today. Had a lot of fun with you.
Thanks for inviting us. I also had fun, actually.
Glad to hear it. Take it easy, yeah?
You too. Take it the easiest. Brian chuckles to himself as he unloads the car. Man and I get inside and immediately collapse onto the couch. Long day. Yop. I was so close to that pole saw. Pole saw? Yeah. Brian and I were competing to see who could catch the most fish and... Stop. Why do you care so much? Amanda Panda, just look at the guy. He's so obviously got my number and he's rubbed my face in it. Dad, I love you. But you're kind of dumb sometimes. Dumb? Or clearly the superior dad. You know what? I don't have any of the energy required to properly unpack your weird fixation with asserting your masculinity. I'm going to bed. Not. Amanda slides off the couch, face down onto the floor. I am a tired slog. Amanda, that floor is disgusting. I don't care. Well, night, honey. Night, Pops. Use your hips when throwing. Date complete. Amanda did good at the minigame. Eventually.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
He could have done it better himself. Well, there you go. Soft boy, 2 or 3. There you go. I've now gone on a second date with everybody except Robert. Robert's first dad date time was a seriously awkward affair because he asked us if we'd like to get wild, and we said no. We got to think about the family. So I guess we'll see what we end up doing next time. Right now I'm going to drop a save and say that we're good. This is Bobo the Vulture. This has been another issue of Let's Play Dream Daddy. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and when we come back next time, who's going to be our daddy?